A Black Twitch streamer has revealed something amazing, okay? This is Just Relax Kid, whose real name is Zach, who was frustrated with his streams not getting, in his view, enough views. So he decided to run a little sociological experiment. He replaced his avatar with a cartoon animated white man and immediately saw a significant jump in his views on the platform. So understand, he's been on Twitch for a while. He's been doing it for 9 years, longer than I've been doing it. Has 77,000 followers on his channel. Well, back on December 2nd, he decided to replace his video feed with a cartoon avatar. You can see what Zach looks like in real life, and then the, I think, admittedly very funny cartoon image on the right. And he showed the jump in views that he got. And according to him, on average, he gets about 300 to 800 views per stream. But after changing the image, that number increased by at least 3 times. One stream got 1,600 views, another 7,900, another 22,000. And he tweeted, "I got 3,000 more views since I took off my cam and decided to be a white man." And you can see, he look, if you don't believe it, he's got the evidence. He has videos of him scrolling through his different videos, and the pattern is incredibly clear between the two. And so, Adrienne, this just immediately reminded me of studies like, I'm sure you're familiar with the eBay studies, where they put like products in hands with different skin tones, and the phones being held by white disembodied hands sold for higher prices. It just feels kind of like that. So I know some racists are attacking him, saying this is insane. This definitely isn't true. But I 100% believe this. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. This is something we've seen all the time when it comes to getting home appraisals. If you have any pictures of Black people in your home, of submitting resumes, if the name sounds more Black than traditionally white, you're out. It really just shows you that race is an issue throughout our country, but so many people want to act like it's identity politics and keep their hands away from it when it permeates every aspect of who we are in the United States. But then again, when it was founded, the nation was founded upon racism, and it's not been addressed at all. It's like you can't act like it's not there, and it doesn't impact every aspect of individuals' lives, including commerce, sales, and who wants to watch whom.
100%. By the way, he says that he's been contacted by other Black creators who say they've run the same experiment and it's worked for them too. And that is just utterly disheartening.
It's sad.
Because that's not like even, like, you know, we can say that platforms do things wrong sometimes. Twitch does things that are wrong. But like this is like deeply societal, that would result in people having, like, because it's not just like conservatives are watching him more with the white. There are liberals, people who think of themselves as not having racist views, who are affected by these implicit biases, like the hand in the eBay ad, like the cartoon there. And this is what the right is working for. The reason they don't want more diversity in media is they don't want people to come to the what should be obvious realization that you can enjoy art that doesn't feature people who only look and act and believe exactly like you. You can do that. You can watch it. You know, it turns out that a streamer playing Fortnite can be equally entertaining if they don't have the same melanin level as you. And so they don't want people to realize that. But how do we fight back? How do we get people to realize that and get them to try going outside of their bubble for music and movies and TV and streamers?
Well, I think more exposure, as you've said, representation, and then also people need to confront it. There was a big push in the 80s by Ronald Reagan to make it so that racism was a bad thing. Because if you remember the videos from the 50s and 60s, white people were happy to say on camera, I think the Black should stay over there, et cetera, et cetera. And so making the push where the thought of racism has to be tied to whether you're a good or bad person, and that it's an individual thing, that was a big push in the 80s, as opposed to recognizing that it's systemic, and also that we all harbor racism. We all harbor biases. And if we're ready to confront that and we literally say, hey, I'm struggling. I have all of these views that are forms of biases because I live in this society, but I'm gonna now confront them and I'm gonna do my best every day. Then that's when we take the power away from the system and those systemic biases, and we actually look to make meaningful change. But a lot of liberals need to come to that point where they just, actually are honest. And many of us aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, 100%. And realize that the fact that they are liberals does not mean that they are immune to this.
Exactly. We all have it.
There's a lot of right wingers who throw around the term woke or whatever, and obviously they don't know what they mean. They mean nothing when they use the term. And obviously it has an actual meaning originally, but like in modern context, like if it could mean something, it could mean things like acknowledging that things like this are true, not just rejecting the experiments that are being run and pretending that's not happening, and caring enough to improve on the societal and individual situation that we end up in, wanting a more just and equitable situation. And I know that conservatives will find that inconceivable, but I will point out to you that if we found out that like white conservatives got 5 times more views if they changed to a black cartoon avatar, they would never talk about another thing. They would be so outraged. But it's happening to people who aren't even really people, so they don't need to worry about it. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.